Now, Gary,
Yes.
we need to speak to you. Because, again, don't get defensive before I even start speaking.
Why? Because I just travelled in the car with you for half an hour and you never said anything to me.
Again, I need my boys around me. Again, Gary, we hear, not brought up by us, but by other people, that you are going to be talked about strongly and potentially the next coach of the Melbourne Football Club. Now, if there's going to be any discussions along these lines...
Who said that?
I'm
asking who said it.
Don't treat us like Mike and Jared. Right? Don't go down that path, Gary. We'll put the heat on you and you'll sit there and withstand it.
Hurdy's going well.
Gary, Hurdy's gone back as the prodigal son of Essendon and he's flying. And that club is flying. Their membership's at an all-time high. The frenzy whipped around Essendon is enormous.
Although Vossi's not.
Exactly, Damo.
And Gary,
counter-argument.
And Gary, we have got a situation where Melbourne could potentially, depending on what happens with Dean Bailey, be looking for a coach because he's out of contract this year.
Won't. Why would they?
They could potentially be, I said.
Okay, they could.
So, Gary.
It won't be me.
It won't be you.
No.
Don't start along those lines because we haven't even peeled this back yet.
Come on,
you are the prodigal son.
Come on, Jared.
You've got 3 number 1 picks in an emerging list and a club that's come from nowhere and is debt-free now, and your great mates, Chris Connolly, Jim Steins, Cameron Schwab, every point is heading your way.
No, it's not.
We think there's been a change in your demeanour.
Definitely a change in your demeanour. Your whole setup now, a little bit more swagger.
The way he strategises pre-game now, you're putting a lot. You've been outstanding at it, but there's a lot more effort going into it, and you're taking notes for the future. Your demeanour has definitely changed, Gary.
I've noticed it too, Gary.
All right.
So,
well, what's your question?
When are you going to come clean to the fact that you're open to it? And your boys
laugh it off, Gary.
Gary, it will come. Quite seriously now, I'll say to you,
don't laugh it off.
You will be asked this year, if you haven't already, by Melbourne to coach that club.
Let's put an end to it right now, Jim, rather than have the charade that has been played out
at
other clubs, and I ain't coaching.
Answer that question. You will be asked this year, if you haven't already, to coach Melbourne.
I haven't been asked, and I don't.
Well, you will be.
Well, you will be asked.
I won't be asked.
You'll be asked to consider what would happen.
Warriors jumped in.
This is fact, Gary. Dean Bailey needs to push the finals, if not make them, to be secure of a job next year.
Gary.
So if we're working backwards from that, who are the options? Who are the candidates? There's a bloke coaching Collingwood who's an obvious option.
Only one option.
You would be the next one in their tails.
Gary, this article in The Age has got coach written all over it.
Anyone can take it seriously.
This has got coach written all over it.
Well, I won't be coaching.
Why not?
What did he say? I can't see this for the next 3 or 5 years.
Gary, you've openly said that anyone can change their mind in football. Now, you've said that before.
That I'll concede that everyone's entitled to change
as are
their mind.
you. And if the circumstances are right, and they're getting very right at Melbourne...
No, and then my answer will be no.
Why will it be no?
100% no,
I'll tell you why, mate, and this is absolutely dead serious. And people laugh when I say this, because I like footy, I don't love it. And I don't want to have a game of football, which is a wonderful game, let's be honest. I don't want to have it dictate to me 98% of what I do in life.
Gary.
That is the clear and simple answer. I don't like it that much, mate. I like it. I don't like it that much.
I think what we see in you is a very proud man who wants to challenge himself at the highest level. You're not going to be able to do that sitting in the Triple M box, even though you're very good in this box. You go out there and suddenly those enormous ram-like pills are on the block.
You need to seal the deal, Gary.
And there we go. Yeah. Suddenly, you lead Melbourne.
Fulfilled, Gary.
You lead Melbourne to the promised land where they haven't been since 1963.
I don't think there'd be one person listening who's taken either of you three dolls seriously.
No, what they're
wondering
Melbourne
is supporters,
if we had a camera in here and got a shot of your dumb, stupid face when you're asking these questions.
Look at the body language on him. That is a sign of defensiveness. It is.
I'm not comfortable with
Read the body language,
don't I? Let me say this again. No, I won't be coaching. I don't want to coach, and I've never been asked.
You will be asked.
You will be sounded out, Gary.
No doubt about that.
You will be sounded sounded
you're
out.
assuming that Dean Bailey won't be there next
You will
year.
be sounded
so
out.
have you made your mind up on that?
I'm assuming if they make the decision that Dean Bailey won't be there, you will be asked.
Well, I won't
No
be doing
doubt
it.
about
Well,
that.
So what will you say when that... And that call won't come from a Cameron Schwab
All right, let's make
or a
this
Jim
really-
Steins. It'll come from someone known to
Let's
them.
make this really clear so there's no misinterpretation. So I can't criticise myself for why I criticise James Hird.
Yep.
No.
All right, so Jim Steins comes to you.
Oh, God.
The
help me.
president
Snorkel.
of Melbourne.
That's the 8th time I've said
Gary.
it.
No,
Go on, go
The
again.
president of Melbourne comes
Who's
to
a-
you.
a great
man, great Melbourne man, done an
Yeah.
amazing job with that
The
club.
man you admire most in life.
You're one of his best mates. He comes to you, looks you in the eye and says,
Top-
Gary,
Top 5.
Gary.
Not really best, but yeah.
we want our club to go in a certain direction. We see you as the man to take us in that direction. Here's the job. I want you to do it. Take this young emerging group to the Holy Land.
Yep.
What do you say to him?
No, thanks.
You say no to
no,
Jim Steins.
No, thanks. No,
You
thanks.
say no to Jim Steins.
Well,
He's smirking.
10
He's
times.
Isn't he, Spud?
He is.
Look at the setup
I'm
on
not
him.
saying much. I'm just looking at the body language.
Honestly.
He's fidgeting. The people at home, he's drawing, he's doodling.
It's a boring subject.
Well,
He's
no,
right.
it isn't boring.
Hey,
It'll be the sexiest story in football,
Entitled-
Damo.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
all right, yeah, okay.
Can't keep his hands still.
Look at him.
Well, I've said 11 times. You want to say 12?
All I know is, Luke, make
Is
sure that this bit of tape is sacred
Yeah.
so that we can bring it back out,
Hey,
hit the play button.
Is that a bead of
Bring it
sweat
out.
on his brow?
There's no doubt about that.
No.
Absolutely no question.
I
A bit of
think...
James Hird about this, Gary. I think you've got the opportunity now to totally 100% forever rule it out.
okay.
And I don't think you have
So
this
for
year.
the-
No, he
all right,
hasn't. No doubt
okay,
he
for
hasn't.
the 13th time. The 13th.
Well, stop laughing when you say it.
Well, because I'm looking at you three
Well,
tools who've got stupid looks on your
Crystal
faces.
balling.
No, Spud. No.
Crystal balling.
Under any
Can
circumstance.
Let's
you
say Melbourne-
imagine me?
All right.
I don't. When the season's end, I am that sick of myself, let alone.
But what about the build up to the grand final day? You sit here.
I love it.
Yeah, and
Yeah, if you ask
Crystal
me then,
balling.
if you ask me then, I might go.
Exactly.
Oh,
Crystal balling. If Melbourne win the flag in 5 years' time,
yes, that'd make me as happy in football as I've ever
would
been.
you like to see your name under that
Coach.
as Jock McHale
Premiership
medalist?
coach.
I'd love to be a foundation member, which I am.
Scully, Trengove, Watts, Jarrah,
Chipper.
Frawley.
Leo.
Some of those names.
Chip.
Just imagine moulding them into a premiership side.
Hang on.
Hello, a couple of number oneers and a few Grimes and these sort of setups.
Yeah, did you say Trengo?
It's said Trengove. Gary.
Grimes.
Now it's Spud.
Yeah.
This is where
Jonah.
suddenly a set of pills get tickled.
We've